everybody, welcome back. I know that lately I've been talking a lot about foreigners coming into Singapore. This is because our society faces, and I'm not exaggerating, an existential threat to our nation, and we have to have an honest and urgent national conversation about it. Now, in the next few minutes, I'll explain how this matter has reached crisis levels. So stay with me. I assure you that this is going to be the few most important minutes of your life you will ever spend on the internet. Now, let me take you back to the 1990s. As early as 1991, former Prime Minister Mr. Goh Chok Tong cited a survey by MasterCard, which found that 20% of Singaporeans wish to emigrate. He said, "I'm not sure how much to believe this survey, but there is enough anecdotal evidence to suggest a potential problem." Well, it turned out that the survey grossly underestimated the number of citizens wanting to leave. Another survey, this one conducted by the Singapore Polytechnic in 2008, found that more than 50% of younger Singaporeans indicated that they would leave Singapore if they could. And Mr. Goh also noted that their bond with the country is not there. In fact, the Singapore Poly survey found that 37% said that they did not feel patriotic to Singapore. The PAP must do some soul searching and ask why a ruling party, after 60 years of uninterrupted rule, has not engendered a loyal citizenry wanting to sink its roots in the country. Now, bookmark this development. I'll come back to it in a few moments. For now, I want to show you two graphs that will make you sit up and pay close attention. The first is our TFR, or total fertility rate, which is the number of children born by a woman of childbearing age. Now, in order to maintain the population number, the TFR must be 2.1 births. In Singapore, however, the TFR has been dropping through the decades to a record low of only 0.97 births in 2023. So it's clear that our locally born Singaporean population is shrinking. The second graph I want to show you is the number of foreigners the PAP is bringing into Singapore. As you can see, this number has climbed through the years, starting with about 800,000 in 2000 and ending with nearly 1.8 million last year. Now, put these two graphs together and a frightening picture emerges. The number of Singaporeans born here are decreasing, while the total population keeps increasing because of the increase in number of foreigners, PRs, and new citizens. Now, as I mentioned, when you consider that hundreds of thousands of Singaporeans are actually leaving the country, the picture looks even more desperate. At this rate, Singapore, as we know it, will be no more. Now, if you think that I'm exaggerating, listen to what former head of civil service, the late Ngiam Tong Dao, said in 2009. "I do not want to sound alarmist, but a recurring nightmare of mine is that someday we will find ourselves strangers in our own land." Remember, he said this in 2009. I fear that that someday is already here. So what do we do? What can we do? Now, to answer the question, we need to know the root cause of the problem. What is it that's causing Singaporeans from wanting to have children? Repeatedly, the people are saying that it is the high cost of living, as indicated by this recent survey, which showed that high cost and stress emerged as top reasons for Singaporeans not wanting to have children. Now, this is not new. The government knew about this 20 years ago. In his National Day rally in 2004, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong admitted that the low fertility rate is a very serious problem. He also acknowledged that a lot of people worry about the cost of living going up. What's more, 70% of Singaporeans want strict limits on the number of foreigners entering the country. But the PAP ignores this sentiment and is pressing ahead with its policy of bringing in yet more foreigners. Listen to these chilling words of Indrani Raja, the minister in the Prime Minister's office.
Either you're going to have to bring in new citizens or PRs, or you would have to, have the foreign workforce. But our approach is really, we would like to have more Singaporeans. So we want to raise the total fertility rate.
What I hear her saying is that if the TFR doesn't increase, the government will bring in more foreigners and new citizens. The question is, how do we raise the TFR? Mr. Goh admitted that we have tried the baby bonus, maternity benefits, tax incentives, and childcare support. They have not worked. We even tried state-sponsored matchmaking. Yes, the PAP has tried everything. Everything except the one thing that the people keep asking them to do, to reduce the cost of living and make life less stressful for all of us. Is the PAP listening? If it is, it's doing a very good job hiding it, because it recently went ahead and did the exact opposite by raising our cost of living. Water price, electricity and gas rates, university fees, healthcare costs, S&C charges, refuse collection fees were all raised across the board. And then on top of all this, the government raised the GST by another 2%. Then, to address our call to have more job security and less stressful lives, the PAP brings in more foreigners to compete with us for jobs, clears more greenery for housing, and makes this already crowded island even more congested and stressful. But all this didn't stop Lawrence Wong from saying,
"We are here to listen to you, to understand firsthand your concerns, hopes and dreams."
all this has led to nearly half of Singaporean residents saying they will never achieve financial freedom. My friends, the reason why I highlighted what Goh Chok Tong said in the 1990s is to show you that the Prime Ministership has been passed from him to Lee Hsien Loong and now to Lawrence Wong, a span of more than 3 decades. And in that time, the problems not only have not been resolved, they have gotten worse with each Prime Minister. The PAP is either unable or unwilling to resolve the problem. I don't know which is worse. Now here's the question that you must ask yourselves. Do you think what Goh Chok Tong couldn't do, what Lee Hsien Loong couldn't do, now somehow Lawrence Wong miraculously can? The government has been giving out rebates and vouchers since nearly 20 years ago, and yet the cost of living keeps on increasing, and the people continue to feel the hardship. Giving out vouchers is like prescribing Panadol to treat the cancer. No, the PAP must deal with the underlying cause of the crisis. Lawrence Wong must tell the people how he will reduce the cost of living, not just give handouts. The reason is simple. Singaporeans want to get ahead, not just get by. We want to progress, not just survive. He also needs to spell out by how much he is going to reduce the number of foreigners coming in, because the massive influx of foreigners is also pushing up our cost of living. My friends, the PAP's current strategy of raising the cost of living, deterring our young people from procreating, and then bringing in more foreigners to replace us cannot continue. Otherwise, as I said at the beginning of this video, there may be no Republic of Singapore to talk of. We need to do something about it, and that something is the coming GE.